Hi, my name is Angie Stone-MacDonald, and I'll be your instructor for ESPE 6673, Preschool through Kindergarten Methods in Early Childhood Special Education. Today we're going to go over your syllabus for the semester. I'm not going to go over every aspect. I'm going to go over some of the key things I need you to know, as well as encourage you to read some other sections, and you will be covering some more information from the syllabus in the syllabus scavenger hunt, which is one of your assignments for this week. So to get started, we meet on Mondays, hybrid online, so on Zoom sessions, from 7 to 9 p.m. And that's not every week. You'll see a schedule down below which tells you which weeks those are. Or you will have asynchronous sessions, so that's no online meeting, but you'll have work to complete on your own during those particular weeks. Also, I have office hours on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 on Zoom. Or you can set up an appointment with me at another time if that time doesn't work for you on Zoom, or I will meet in person if you would like. And below here is a link through Calendly to set up a meeting with me. So for this class, you're going to have 2 textbooks. And you'll see these textbooks listed in the reading section, as well as some additional materials that will be provided. So if you have other readings or other things that you need, those things will be provided to you through Canvas, or at least a link to access them through Canvas. Here are some additional online resources that I recommend. And then we have various other statements related to not discriminating for any reason, our land acknowledgement, the mission and vision of our college, and then what this particular class is about. We also then list here the CTC standards that are covered in this course, as well as the TPEs, or teaching performance experiences, that you will be working on or working towards in this particular course. And then we have the different goals. And these are your specific course goals or objectives for this particular class. And what you'll see for each particular objective is that it gives you an idea, not only through the words stated, what you will work on learning and becoming familiar with, but also which projects or major assignments you will use to demonstrate your learning, as well as which program standards and TPEs you'll work on with each particular goal or objective. You will notice some yellow highlighting here. That highlighting is simply for reviewers who are currently looking at our program, and specifically looking at how we've incorporated the new literacy TPE into this course and many of our courses. You don't need to worry about that unless you're interested. Then I have various statements related to different policies in the class with me in general and for the university, as well as some services available to you. For example, the Graduate Writing Center here and how you can access them, as well as those of you who are all in a credential program, the program coordinator, Dr. Sparks. If you're in the master's program, you would work with Dr. Kim. And then if you are doing any kind of field work or need placement support, you'd work with Miss Tammy Patterson, and that information is there for you if you need it. And so again, here's some more information about policies related to academic dishonesty, student conduct, grade grievances, grievances that don't involve your grades, and then office hours. I'm sure what you're most interested in is the course requirements for this particular class. If you were in 6672 with me, you'll notice several similarities. We do have class participation and engagement, which is 65 points, and you are required to come to class or participate in, so coming to class for Zoom classes or participate in the asynchronous weeks through those activities. In this particular semester, just because of how the points went, the engage or the intro thing that you do, whether it's a discussion post or a short activity or something that you do after doing some of the reading or a module or something like that, is worth 2 points and needs to be completed by Sunday night. Then your readings, podcasts, modules, videos, anything else you're doing to support the content that you'll be learning to develop your skills to apply that is what we consider the explore, and you'll do that throughout the week. And then we have the making meaning section, and this is where we do something that you'll get 3 points for. And when we have Zoom classes, that may be some kind of activity in class to promote application or problem solving, a discussion, or an exit ticket that you'll complete based on what we've done in the Zoom class. In a week that we're not meeting and you have asynchronous work, it may be a short quiz or an activity again or reflection asynchronously from the work you've completed, or some kind of discussion forum that you'll be asked to do. Again, you are expected to be there for all of the Zoom sessions and to complete the work and be there from the beginning to the end of class, which is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. But you can miss 1 week. 1 week is fine, no big deal. All of your assigned readings will be on Canvas or from the books. And the second major set of assignments are related to early education field-based assignments. Each one is worth 25 points, and you'll do 2 of them. So you have 3 choices, and you can pick 2 out of the 3 to complete. You do have to do 2 different ones. You can't do 2, for example, educator interviews. And for both the educator interview and the classroom instruction observation, you either need to choose a TK or a K, teacher or classroom, because this is important for your development to make sure you're getting exposure and access to TK or K, especially if that's not the age group you typically work with, because your credential does allow you to teach everything from birth through K. And so we want to make sure within the experiences we're providing you that you have had time to see and learn from TK and K, as well as other areas, teachers and classrooms. And I will go over more of this information, but the details for each part of these 3 choices are available on Canvas. And in general, they're pretty straightforward. You have interview prompts that you're asked to do, and then a summary to write for the interview. For the observation, you'll ask it again, an hour-long observation, just like we think the interview will be about an hour. And there is a observation guide that you will use to look at things and answer questions afterwards. And then your third option is to attend a conference, a professional conference, and do a reflection. But it does need to be an all-day training or a multi-day professional conference related to early childhood education or early childhood special education. So if your school is doing an all-day training, then that would count. Otherwise, I would select one of these other options. And then for the final major assignment is the inclusive curriculum project, which very much like the one we did last semester in 6672 has multiple parts, and some parts you'll turn in drafts and then final versions of. And this is a project, we'll go over all these aspects in class, but you're going to be developing a set of lessons related to a project that is somewhat theme-based or topic-based that you'll be engaging in inquiry-based learning with your children on, and you'll be creating a plan for that project, but also looking specifically at two different children that you would work with that have two different types of needs and how you're going to incorporate them into the lessons that you're teaching as part of this project. And there'll be a couple different parts for planning this and creating your lessons. And then as part of the third section of this project, you'll actually teach one of those lessons and then reflect on that. And so you can do that in your own classroom if you have a classroom you're working in. And it can be in any grade level from pre-K to K. And then the final part of this project, you'll create an audio or video podcast related to your learnings from this particular project in class. And you can either do that with some colleagues from the class, or you can do it on your own. So here is an overview of the evaluation plan, so how you earn your points. As you can see, 65 points are from class participation engagement. You get 1 free week anyway. And then you have 25 points times 2 for your 2 field-based assignments. And then your inclusive curriculum project is a total of 85 points across the multiple parts and the multiple times you turn things in. Keep in mind that you do need to earn a B- or better in this class for it to count, based on university guidelines and the guidelines of maintaining your GPA for your credential. I'd also like to highlight that, again, I do allow resubmission of assignments if you receive a C+ or below. Also that I'm happy to read versions of your work before it's due, so that you can get some feedback and find out if you're on the right track. And I'll let you know either in class or through Canvas announcements what the deadline for each of those major assignments would be, that you could get that feedback ahead of time. So what day do you need to turn it in to me so I have time to get you feedback? And that's on your major assignments, and that's true for the resubmission policy. Also, late assignments are not eligible for resubmission unless you let me know that they were going to be late and we agreed upon that. Again, with late work in general, just let me know. There's some general technology requirements for this particular class, and then some grading policies that I'll ask you to look at on your own in general. And just remind you that as a professional and a graduate student, that it's important to go through your work and make sure that it's as grammatically correct as possible, free from prejudicial language, and that you've cleaned up your typos and various things. And all assignments are submitted through Canvas unless you have an individual concern, and you can let me know that. But all of your assignments should be able to be submitted through Canvas. So then we'll just look briefly at the schedule. So as I've mentioned, you have some Zoom classes and some asynchronous classes. Because of the Martin Luther King holiday on January 20th, even though classes start technically January 17th, our first class session isn't until January 27th. So that is an asynchronous class. Our first Zoom session is on February 3rd. You do have a lot of reading to do for weeks 2 and 3. So I highly recommend that you look at what you need to read for weeks 2 and 3, and they will be available to you. And go ahead and work on that starting as early as you can. And then you'll see as we go through here, there are a few weeks, because we also have a President's Day holiday on February 17th that we don't have class. And then a little further down, we have no class here for spring break. But we have sort of alternating weeks for asynchronous and Zoom sessions. And then it's just near the end here that we have 2 weeks in a row again because of the content that we're covering. And then your final project is due during finals week. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to email me or post them on Canvas for everyone in the Questions Cafe. But otherwise, I hope to see you in class and to see you complete the opening assignments of this semester.